Buddha.
What's going on, everybody? How you all doing today on this Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon? Welcome to the pregame. Los Angeles Dodgers versus the New York Yankees. The Dodgers took 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, so they won the series. Hopefully, the Yankees can avoid the sweep. They'll have to have a good game today, a bounce back game today. The lineup just came out. There was some roster moves that were made. We'll talk about all that. Garrett Cole just had his second rehab game today. We'll talk about that as well. And I will put the link out to the open panels. So if anybody who wants to come on, we can jam out. We could talk for a while. So we'll see what happens. But shout out to everybody in the chat. It looks like I have Dev Finch. What's going on? I see you. Ken, what's up? Daniel Berry, what's going on? Dennis, what's up? What's going on? Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And it would mean a lot to me, and any support you give to this channel is also appreciated too. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, what's up, man? Make sure you all subscribe to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. He's always uploading videos, so go check him out. Dennis, what's up? Yep, Soto's not playing, but nobody should be surprised. What's up, Brad? How you doing? Yeah, we'll talk about the lineup. We'll talk about the lineup. The lineup is a little different. What's up, Jonathan? How's it going? But shout out to everybody in the chat. How are you all doing? Let me know. How are you all feeling about this game today? I know the last 2 games against the Dodgers was not a good one, especially last night. Last night was so bad it wasn't even funny. But my God, it's just like, yeah. Oh, it is what it is, right? Last night's game was bad, and it was hopefully again the Yankees come back and not get swept. Luis Hill's on the mound today. He'll be going up against Tyler Glasnow. Again, Garrett Cole had his second rehab start there at the minors, so he was looking pretty good. Feeling pretty negative. I understand. How else is everybody else feeling about today's game? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, I feel good, but at the same time, it's like I'm a little worried too. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little bit worried. But hopefully the bats come through today. We know they could get on base. It's just a matter of scoring the runners in scoring position, right? So that's what we want. That's what the Yankees need to do tonight. No Soto or Juan Soto in the lineup. They have to make that happen. Sean Browning, what's going on? How you doing, Sean? But let me know how you all are feeling about this game. We'll look at the over/under of today's game. We'll look at the we'll talk about predictions, how Luis Hill's going to do, who's going to hit a home run, what the score is going to be. We'll get into all that fun stuff, and we'll also talk about food, which is something that everybody likes to talk about, because I will ask what you're all having for dinner, what you're going to be snacking on. So, again, with today's game, with Luis Hill on the mound, I feel good. I do feel good. I actually felt good about Friday night's game too, but it just didn't end up the way we had hoped. Yeah, I agree, Sean. I think Hill will dominate. I think Hill's gonna show up tonight. 8-1 record, excellent ERA. I mean, just to look up his ERA real quick, it was like at 1 point something, I believe, but I want to get the exact number for you. Yeah, he's at a 1.82 ERA with an 8-1 record. Tyler Glasnow has a 6-4 record with a 2.93 ERA. So I think tonight's game is going to be another pitcher's duel. We'll see how the Yankees do against Tyler Glasnow. When you look at the pitching matchup for the Yankees against Tyler Glasnow, I was looking it up early and I wanted to share it with all of you. So Aaron Judge against Tyler Glasnow has had 14 at bats, but he has a batting average of 143, so not great. DJ LeMahieu has had 20 at bats with a 200 average. Again, not great. Rizzo has had 6 at bats with a 333 average, but he's not playing tonight, so he's on the bench. Soto, unfortunately, is not playing tonight either, but he's had 3 at bats against Tyler Glasnow with a 333 average. Giancarlo Stanton has had a 12 at bats with a 167 average. Same thing with Gleyber Torres, 12 at bats with 167 batting average. Trevino has had 3 at bats with a 333 average. Alex Verdugo has had 17 at bats with a 176 batting average, and Volpe has only had 2 at bats with a 500 average. So, unfortunately, those numbers are not attractive. Those are not attractive looking numbers against Tyler Glasnow. But let's see. Let's see. Maybe tonight could be a different story. Tonight could be a different story. I mean, all I know is that the Yankees cannot get swept. That's not something us fans want. Of course, we do not want to see that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, right? And there's only been a couple of players on the Dodgers that have had some sort of history with Luis Hill, and that's Kike Hernandez, who's had 3 at bats with a 333 average, and it's Teoscar Hernandez has had 2 at bats with a 0 batting average. So the rest of the lineup has had no history against Luis Hill. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So let me know what you all think, though. And Paranormal in the Funhouse, what's up, man? I saw you subscribed earlier. Appreciate you subscribing. Again, folks, if you're enjoying this, if you're watching this from Twitter or X, make sure you come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Share this out with anybody you know. I'm on the road to 700 subscribers. I would greatly appreciate it. And any support that you give to this channel is also appreciated too. And like I said earlier in the stream, I will put the link out to the open panel. So anybody who wants to come up and discuss the topics that we're going to discuss, just make sure we stick to the topic. We don't go off topic. And, we'll continue the conversation. We'll have the conversation. So, all right. So Dennis, saying pitchers duel, but our players. Yeah. I mean, some of the guys on the Yankees have had some history with Tyler Glasnow. Not great, but we'll see what happens. So we probably lose in later innings, same as Friday, most likely. Well, let's hope not, right? Let's hope not. Let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope they don't lose the game at all, and let's hope they don't falter in the later innings. There's been one change that's been made to the roster. So Dennis Santana has been DFA'd, and the Yankees have recalled Ron Marinaccio, which is something that a lot of fans were wanting. They were tired of Dennis Santana, so they wanted Dennis Santana gone. Yankees fans, got our wish. So, Dennis Santana got DFA'd. They called up Braun Marinaccio. And today, Garrett Cole had his second rehab start. So he went 4.2 innings. He gave up 2 hits, gave up 1 run, and that was a solo shot. No walks, 4 strikeouts. He had 57 pitches. So sounds like he had another solid outing. Hopefully it does continue to trend in the right direction. It looks like everything is going right for Garrett Cole, which is good news. I hope that makes all of you happy as well. we need Garrett Cole back, and hopefully when we get him back, hopefully Schmidt will come back too, and obviously there's those question marks about the starting rotation, so we'll see what happens. Um, Yeah, Judge and Volpe will set the tone. Yeah, I mean, it does start with them. I mean, they're the guys that are going to have to take the lead here, especially Judge. He does. He's been really the only one that's been hitting well. Hitting the best, should I say, in this series against the Dodgers. Tonight's game will be tough to watch. What's up, Gregory? Yeah, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. Every game is tough to watch. Especially this particular series. It's been very hard to watch. But I think the Yankees can avoid being swept. So I think Luis Hill will pitch tonight. I think the bats, hopefully, I'm hoping that they wake up tonight. So again, we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna pull up today's lineup too, just so we could go over the lineup here. All right. Let's see what we got here. So that's the lineup right there, folks. Anthony Volpe leading off, playing shortstop. Alex Verdugo batting second, playing left field. Aaron Judge batting third. He'll be playing right field. Giancarlo Stanton batting fourth. He'll be at the DH spot. Batting fifth, Trent Grisham playing center field. I thought that was interesting. I really didn't understand why Boone put him at the fifth spot. And then Gleyber Torres is batting sixth. He'll be playing second base. DJ LeMahieu is batting seventh. He'll be playing first base. Batting eighth will be Oswaldo Cabrera playing third base. And at the dish, batting ninth will be Jose Trevino. And on the mound today, Luis Hill. Again, I don't know why Trent Grisham's batting fifth. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm glad Rizzo is not in the lineup today. He needed to sit definitely. And I get Grisham bats lefty, Jonathan. I understand that. I mean, I know he bats lefty, but why is he in the fifth spot? Because he's been batting at the bottom of the order, and it's not. I can't say that he's hitting any better than Gleyber Torres or DJ LeMahieu or even Oswaldo Cabrera or any of the guys that are at the bottom of the order there. Anybody that's after him, But hopefully he produces. Hopefully he does something. But that's the lineup, folks. Let me know what you think about the lineup. Let me know if you agree with this lineup or do you find it kind of weird. So, again, the only one that I question mark is the Trent Grisham at the number 5 spot, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right on it, but I just that's the only thing that I'm really questioning. But again, Anthony Rizzo is not in the lineup, and as far as Anthony Rizzo goes, Brian Hoke had put out a tweet saying that Rizzo's out of the lineup today, and he could possibly sit again tomorrow, according to Aaron Boone. So no Rizzo today, possibly not tomorrow either. So you may not see him play tomorrow. So Rizzo's getting benched, and I know a lot of fans have not been really happy with his performance as of late, and rightfully so. I mean, the month of June hasn't been a good one for him. And a lot of people will probably be in agreement with you here, there, Dennis. I'm sure a lot of fans would say the same thing, to sit Rizzo indefinitely. And it's disappointing, man, because it's like I like Anthony Rizzo, but there's also games that that they need to win. And especially if they're trying to compete, especially if they're trying to make it to the postseason, and they're trying to be competitive in the postseason, then what? All right. If if DJ all of a sudden or not DJ, but if Torres sits on the bench, then then what happens? Who takes over first base? Do they move DJ LeMahieu over there and play Cabrera third? And then it's the same thing with Torres. If Torres's defensive blunders continue, does he get benched? I mean, he's been a bit of a problem at second base. There's times where he looks good, other times he looks terrible. And it's the same thing with the bat too, with his offense. Some days he looks good, some days he looks bad. Also worth noting, okay, because everybody keeps asking when is Jason Dominguez coming up, and Brian Hoke again put out a tweet saying that Jason Dominguez is playing well and in a good spot at AAA. Aaron Boone said, but the Yankees are not going to rush him back up to the big leagues. When he comes up, he's going to play. The avenue has got to be there. So there's your answer, folks. Everybody keeps asking about Jason Dominguez, and the way he comes up is if there's a opportunity for him, if there's an avenue for him, they're gonna bring him up. They're gonna play him. So if there's a major injury to any player, then he gets called up to any of the outfielders, right? I don't think they're just going to bring him up to put on the bench and just play like every 3 or 4 days. You know what I mean? Like he does, that's not how the Yankees want to utilize him. The Yankees want to get him as much playing time as possible, and the minor leagues is perfect for that. He'll probably be a September call-up, once they expand the roster. So, there's got to be some freak injury when it comes to, Jason Dominguez coming up. So, I know Juan Soto's not playing right now, but if he happens to land on the IL, maybe that's when they call him, But as of right now, it doesn't sound like Soto's injury is that serious, although some fans are also questioning that too. They feel like Aaron Boone is hiding something. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. Also, as far as Juan Soto goes, Brian Hoke put out a tweet saying that Juan Soto, and this is from Aaron Boone, but mind you, but this was reported by Brian Hoke, that Juan Soto is expected to go through a full pregame routine today and could be available off the bench. And that was said by Aaron Boone. And the Yankees expect him back during the Kansas City series, which starts tomorrow. So if that's the case, great. It'll be great to see. It'll be great to see him back. So you all let me know, though. I think you all let me know how you feel about that. But that's good, though. That's good news, right? That's good that he's coming back Kansas City for the Kansas City series. Let's hope that's the case, and it's not. He's not being delayed any further than that. So, these are all good news, right? Soto is going to be back. And, Soto is going to be back. Garrett Cole is, rehabbing, and he seems to be making progress. So, if you get Cole and Soto coming back, all of a sudden this team starts to look a little different, right? And then when I know Schmidt is out right now, once Schmidt comes back, then there's going to be a question of, let's see what happens with the rotation, who gets moved out of there. I know we all have different opinions, and we have talked about that on many, many occasions. So what are we saying here, Brad? Dominguez only completed his first 9 innings game in the field. Pump the brakes on calling him up just yet. He has to. I agree, Brad, 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Because in all the other games, they were pulling him out of the games. So, this was like you said, this was his first 9 inning games in the field. So he just completed his first 9 innings in a game. So he has to build that stamina back up. He has to build up that endurance. He's got to build himself back up. There's no reason to rush him back. There's absolutely no reason to rush him back. So, just let him continue playing in the minors. Let him continue, doing his thing down there. So, and he's doing well. He's playing well. Let him continue doing his thing. He's getting plenty of playing time, which is good. and we don't need to risk injury. We don't want him to risk injury. And yeah, Cole will probably make. No surprise that he's going to make one more rehab start. So we'll see how that progresses. If I had to guess, it'll probably be, so 45 pitches in the first rehab game, 57 in the second rehab game. So the third, you're probably see in the 70s or so. I'll say 75. He might push 80. But I think 75 is a safer number. But you all let me know what you think. You're saying 70 to 80. I got you. Well, it depends on when he's making his next start there, Dennis. I mean, he pitched today, so if he's on, he'll probably pitch again sometime at the end of the week. Then they might bring him back. Yeah, it might be next weekend. So, next weekend they play against the Red Sox. So maybe he comes back for the Boston series when they play him at Fenway, right? Because right after Kansas City this week, at the end of the week, they're going to fly out to Boston and play him at Fenway Park. So maybe he does come back for that. Or no, probably it might be the week after, if I had to guess. Now that I'm thinking about it. So, let's see. I'm going to look at the schedule real quick. So he'll probably make another rehab start on like Friday if I had to guess. So he could be back. I'm going to say he'll probably be back if he's going to make one more rehab start. If it's one more rehab start, assuming everything goes well, I would imagine he'll probably be back for either the Baltimore series or the Atlanta series, and that's at Yankee Stadium. That's what I think. What's up, Stephen B? How you doing? Cole, so 2 weeks earliest? Yeah, so he's making one more rehab start there, Stephen B, which my guess would be on Friday. And after that rehab start, I'd imagine he would come back. He'll probably be ready for either come back at the Baltimore series or the Brave series, if I had to guess. If it's not that series, then probably I would venture to think probably the Mets or Toronto, right? So they're going to play the Mets at Citi Field, and then they're going to travel to Toronto to play the Blue Jays. But I think his next rehab start is probably going to be Friday. And then, obviously, if everything goes well there, he'll probably be back on the roster. And again, my prediction is maybe they bring him back for either the Baltimore series or the Brave series. But we'll have to wait and see. But you all let me know what you think. But that's what I'm expecting. So, expect him to come back. 10 days, 10 to 13 days if I had to guess. But it's exciting stuff though. I mean, at least we know that Cole is slowly coming back. He's progressing. At least we know that according to reports and what was said by Boone, that Soto is not completely like hurt. Like he's hurt. He's got some inflammation, but he's not going to miss a lot of time. So he should be back for the Kansas City series, which starts tomorrow. So I don't know if he'll be in tomorrow's lineup or if he comes back on Tuesday through Thursday. We'll have to wait and see. They'll probably keep track of like how his forearm is healing, and then go from there. So, but Yankees need some good news, especially with this series that they've had with the Dodgers. So, what's up, Javier? How you doing? Frank, what's up, Frank? Boom reports. Yeah, well, there's always been a lot of question marks with the medical reports, with especially from the medical team, Aaron Boone. We all saw what that was like last season. It was a debacle because we just kept hearing different things, and there was a lot of inconsistency in the reports, and it was absolutely frustrating. But hopefully we're past that. You know, because that series is key, as Yanks lost all previous games with Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good series. That would be the perfect series for him to come back to. But we'll see how they play. We'll see how they bring him back. And hopefully with this third rehab start that he's going to have, that everything progresses and there's no setbacks. Right, 57 pitches again in the game today, so probably be 75 on the next one, if I had to guess. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it to 80. That would tell us what his how his arm is doing, or how his elbow is doing. So, we'll just have to wait and see. And folks in the chat, real quick, just a quick pause. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And any support you give to this channel is also appreciated. So it does mean a lot to me. And I will put the link out to the open panel here in the next few minutes. So anybody who wants to come up and talk, let's talk. So let's keep it to the topics that we were talking about. With the Garrett Cole news, Juan Soto, tonight's game, yeah. So all the stuff that we were talking about. Sorry, but yeah, Javier, I know the lineup came out. We talked about it. Cole might come in as a long-term relief, 4 innings possible. Might, yeah. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I think I see the Yankees. I honestly see the Yankees plugging him in to the rotation, but you might be right on that too. Now, I know they'll definitely do that with Clark Schmidt when he gets back. So I think they'll do that with Clark Schmidt when he gets back, because he's going to be out for a while. I mean, Clark Schmidt he's probably not going to come back till after the trade deadline, if I had to guess. And we'll talk about the trade deadline, right? Briefly. Like I said, I'll put the link out to the open panel. Then you guys can come up if you want, and then we'll have that discussion. But with the trade deadline, yeah, the Yankees might have to look at a bat. Definitely a couple. They'll have to look at some bullpen help too, just to help out the bullpen. So there's a few areas that they need help in. Yeah, what's up, Joan? Yeah, I don't see Cole doing that either. I don't see Cole doing relief pitching. I think once he's done with his rehab games, I think they're just going to plug him back into the lineup or into the rotation. So I think he'll be back for the Baltimore series, if I had to guess. So I'm guessing he's probably going to pitch again on Friday. We'll find out soon enough. 57 pitches. So that number his third game will probably go up to 35, or excuse me, 75. And, hopefully he has another strong outing. There's no setbacks, right? But as far as tonight's game goes, look, the Yankees have to come out, the bats in particular have to come out swinging. They gotta capitalize on all these opportunities, right? They have to capitalize on these opportunities. They have no problems getting on base. It's just getting the guys on base to score, runners in scoring position, like they do. That situational hitting that we talk about. They have to do a good job with that. They got to do a good job with that. And I know Luis Hill, I'm confident that he can pitch well. I think he'll have himself a game. He's been solid this whole season. I mean, 8-1 record. He outdueled, Justin Verlander. Granted, Justin Verlander's a little bit on the older side. He also outdueled, Corbin Burns. He outdueled Luis Castillo. So, Hill can hold his own. Luis Hill can hold his own. Mr. Coconuts, what's going on? How you doing? So I think Luis Hill will be able to hold his own against Tyler Glasnow. Right? I think he will. They would get on base because they walk the good hitters and Stanton others don't hit good pitching. Well, look, there was a few, they in the first inning yesterday, for example, Mr. Coconuts, they got a couple of hits. They got on base like really quick. They made they had no problems getting on base, but again, they just can't score folks and when they can, they don't take advantage of those opportunities. It's frustrating, but the bats have to absolutely step up. And I'm glad Rizzo's not playing today. I'm glad Rizzo has a day off. The same thing, honestly, it needs to happen to Gleyber Torres. I've done everything I can to defend him, but it's getting harder and harder. So, yeah, Javier, Dennis Santana, yeah, he got DFA'd, and they're bringing up Ron Marinaccio. So, Yankees fans got their wish. But I am going to put the link to the open panel. So before I do that, here's the thing with the open panel. Let's just stick to the topic. Let everybody give their take, right? Don't interrupt anybody, and because it'll be your turn too, and you'll get to give your take and give your opinion. Just be respectful towards one another. If you happen to be driving and you're tuning in, just turn your camera off. All right, just because of YouTube's terms and services. But again, just be respectful towards each other. Give your everybody gets to give their opinion. And if you don't agree with something, that's okay. But be respectful about it. Don't attack the person. Don't go on like personal attacks either. So that's what I asked for. Yeah, Joan, Ron is out of the witness protection. That's funny. All right, folks, there's the link to the open panel. So anybody who wants to jump on, feel free to jump on. We'll have some fun. We'll jam out, and we'll talk some baseball, talk Dodgers, and I already got a couple of people in the back. They're ready to go. So I got Jonathan and Javier. You guys ready? All right, cool. Let me add you both up. Give me a second here. What's up, guys? Oh, what's going on? And we got Ken in the back too.
Just as you brought me up, ESPN sent me an update on Soto.
What are they saying?
Soto will miss finale on Sunday, could return Monday against Royals.
Okay, so they said Royals series, so tomorrow is what they're saying. Okay. Ken, you good to go, man?
Just reported right now.
Cool. Awesome. And I got my friend Ken here, one of my favorite critics.
What's up, Ken? How are you doing?
What's up? How you doing?
Couldn't be happier if I was twins.
What was that?
I couldn't be happier if I was twins.
You watched enough movies yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation. But let's see. Where do you guys want to start? We talked about quite a few things. Go ahead.
I want to address your question on Grisham hitting 5. I think the reason that they have him hitting in the 5 hole is because the guy looks at a lot of pitches. When we were playing game 1, we were getting to Yamamoto by sitting back and making that guy throw. By the second inning, he had 42 pitches. After that, I went into my granddaughter's dance recital. I came out at the 7th inning, and all of a sudden, he's still in the game. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? When I went back and looked at it, people were swinging first and second pitches and making outs. So I think they brought Grisham into that spot just to force Glasnow to throw more pitches to get to their bullpen.
That actually, you bring up an excellent point there. Yeah, because he is patient at the plate. I mean, he doesn't, he is able to draw those walks. So it actually makes a lot of sense that he's not going to just swing at every pitch. But let's just hope he could, let's hope he can produce some walks, maybe get a hit, maybe lay down a bunt. but you do. But yeah, I know.
I also thought
No to the bunt.
yeah, I also thought it would be to break up the righties.
I can't see that because in that lineup, I mean, right after him is Gleyber Torres, so it's I don't see how the righty lefty thing. I mean, it's just right. I mean, that I'm not seeing. But Javi, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
So about Jonathan's point on Soto returning, the Yankees fans got their wish. The Yankees fans got their wish of Soto coming back. So, let me give out my thoughts on Luis Gil. Listen, Luis Gil, he has been unbelievable. And since you have him on the mound tonight, I just hope he has an excellent night like he did with his last start. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's going to have a good night. I think he's going to pitch well against the Dodgers. A lot of these guys haven't seen him before, but he's been on fire. I mean, 8-1 record with a 1.82 ERA. I mean, he's been looking phenomenal. He's been the ace in this rotation. What are your guys' thoughts there, Ken, Jonathan, whoever wants to go?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Who is the name?
Luis Gil.
Oh, Luis Gil. I think he's been the ace of the staff. Right now he's the rookie of the year, in my opinion. I think he's better than what the Yankees could have hoped for this year.
How do you think he'll do tonight?
Well, I think this will be a tough lineup, but I think Hill has been underestimated, and I think if I were to give a prediction, 6 and a third, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts.
All right. What about you, Ken?
Well, he's an excellent pitcher, as everyone has said. I think the make or breaks for him is going to be able to throw strikes. He's got to avoid the walks because there are too many bats in that damn lineup that can put the ball in play. He's a high-low pitcher, which bodes well against Ohtani because Ohtani doesn't like balls in and low unless they're slow, and Heel doesn't throw that way. He'll hold his own tonight. Question will be situational hitting. If the boys can actually hit the ball with runners in scoring position.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you hear an echo somewhere?
There's something being played in the background, so I was gonna say, if you could lower the volume, whoever it is. I mean, it does not bother me too much, but yeah, lower the volume on that. I think there wasn't an echo. I think somebody was just playing something, like some broadcast. I think so.
Well, I hope it's not my air conditioner because I'm not turning it off.
Please don't.
I'm at my workshop, as you can see in the background.
Yeah,
I've got it's insulated and it's got HVAC in it, and the HVAC unit is right next to me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't hear that noise. I just felt like there was like some sort of broadcast being played on the background, but or something being played in the background. I don't know what, but yeah, we'll see. But what do you all think about Garrett Cole? I mean, he made his second rehab start, 57 pitches. He only gave up a run.
I think Garrett Cole will have one more start before coming into the big leagues. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the big leagues next weekend or next Monday after his next start.
I don't agree with that.
No?
He threw 57 pitches today.
Mm-hmm.
His next outing on Friday, he should be in the ballpark of 75. They're not going to want to bring him up until he's at least 90. My prediction is that he will start the second game of the Mets series, June 26th.
Okay. Yeah. So they have a 2-game set against the Mets at Citi Field. out there in Queens. So you think he'll be back for that series?
That's what I'm betting.
Yeah. I was making a prediction. Oh, go ahead.
He should be around 90 pitches, and that's where you want to start your season at, because and he's a stubborn son of a gun. He's not going to want to come out of games once he gets up to the show.
Yeah, my prediction was that he was probably going to be back either for the Baltimore series or the Brave series. But you could be right on the Mets. The Brave series is right before the 2 games against the Mets. So that's why I was saying maybe Baltimore.
If you look at the tracking on it, he would pitch this coming Friday, then he would pitch the following Thursday in the minor leagues. And the game that I'm predicting he'll come back will be on a Wednesday, which is his normal rotation for throwing so far.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because like you, I predicted he'll go 75 in his next start, 75 pitches. And then, yeah, it makes sense what you're saying about the 90 pitches. But, we'll find out soon enough, right? But we know he's definitely going to make another rehab start for sure. As long as there's no setbacks, as long as they don't rush him back, I'm okay with that. I'm all good with that. Just don't rush him back. Even if it's the Mets series, like that's fine. That's fine by me. But what do you think, Javi?
Yeah, I agree. So, I could be right, I could be wrong, but I think by either the next homestand, like Ken said, I think by either the next homestand or the Subway Series against the Mets, expect Cole to come back. That's what I'm predicting. Again, I could be right, I could be wrong on that. So all we want to do is see Gary Cole back, but we cannot rush Gary Cole to come back as we did with other players that are on the IL right now. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Cool. What are you guys' thoughts on Rizzo? He's not playing today. Apparently, he's probably not going to play tomorrow. Do you all agree with that?
I have a feeling Rizzo is may have had this going something with his similar to last year. He might have post concussion symptoms. I don't know, or something with some type of because he's not hitting anything. He's just missing. He's making plays that he could never would have used to be fielding errors, and it might be smart to give Rizzo maybe put him on a 10-day IL. I have no idea if he has, because he's playing like he's working through an injury. That's why I would put Rizzo on the 10-day IL, give him 10 days off, and just see how he plays after those 10 days. Or else you're just gonna play him, not knowing that if he is injured, nobody will talk about it, and you'll just see bad results on the field. And we're just going to be talking about this on the next live stream.
Yep. What do you think, Javi?
So I don't know what's going on with Rizzo, but I think he might be injured. I try to defend him, but he's having one of the worst seasons of his career. So I think the problem might stand with, the injuries, and the medical staff isn't doing anything about it. So I think Rizzo might be injured.
All right. How about you, Ken? What do you think about Rizzo sitting today's game and probably tomorrow's game too?
Honestly, I don't think Rizzo's injured. I think Rizzo's fatigued. He's had
Agreed.
1, maybe 2 games off this season.
Yep.
At best.
Yep.
And they haven't been consecutive. We played a lot of games back to back to back. He's an older player. He just may be tired. And sitting a couple of days, don't think it's going to be bad for him.
Yeah, and Joan puts in the comments here to Phantom IL Rizzo and then bring up TJ Rumfield. TJ Rumfield, I know he's been playing well in the minors. A lot of people keep saying Ben Rice, but I'm like, Ben Rice literally just got promoted to AAA, so let's pump the brakes on Ben Rice.
He's still playing very well.
He is, but he literally just got promoted, so I'd rather him continue playing, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Ben Rice and all these other catchers that they have, because Augustine Ramirez is also playing well down there too, and I know he's getting reps at first base as well. So, to Ken's point though, I think he's fatigued. I don't think he's injured. As I know, people are saying that he's probably still suffering from his concussion from last season. I don't think that's the case, you guys. And again, you all tell me if you disagree, and that's fine. And folks in the chat, you tell me if you disagree. I don't think it's the concussion. I think that concussion, it should be, I mean, maybe it might still be there, but I don't think it's at the level that people are making it out to be. That's what I think. But I do agree with Ken. I think he is fatigued, and I think him having a day off today and tomorrow, I think it'll benefit him. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, it's going to make his performance a lot better, but I think it'll help. I think he needs to rest. And yeah,
I just checked Ben Rice's status. He's not on the 40-man roster. So if we make a move to bring him up, you're going to end up DFAing somebody.
And Bobby Malone just said something about Rizzo. He said sitting him today and possibly tomorrow has to be a message to Rizzo. You might have to sit on the bench more this year, so get used to it. Friendship and loyalty does not matter during the trade deadline. You need the best possible team during a playoff push.
Well, who is that?
Bobby Malone tweet.
Is that somebody with knowledge for the Yankee organization? Is that an independent person?
He's an independent person.
I'm not familiar with who he is.
No, he's an independent person. He's a guy that gives a lot. He has a lot of takes when it comes to the Yankees, but I mean, it's all really opinion based. But he makes solid points. Like, he makes valid points. I don't always agree with everything that he says, right? But he's just So he's not like a Jeff Passan or anything like that.
No, I haven't seen Jeff Passan put out a tweet in a while.
Yeah, he'll only put out like the really like super important tweets of like if it's a player getting DFA'd, player getting injured, like Soto getting injured, whatever. He'll probably Passan and those types of guys. We'll put out
also Curry. Like Curry is a good source.
Huh?
Curry Jack Curry.
Yeah, Jack Curry's a good source as well. And I see Cold Italian Pizza here. What's up, Cold Italian Pizza? Yeah, okay. He's like, so it's obvious Yanks are not the same without Soto. Great that they're in first place, but they haven't beaten some of these really good teams like the Dodgers and the Orioles yet. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, we're facing the Dodgers. We're not facing them full strength. And if we were actually lined up in a playoff situation, Nestor Cortez wouldn't be out there throwing from the mound. Ben Rortvedt wouldn't have been, or not Rortvedt, Cody Petit probably wouldn't have been out there either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they looked at the back end of our rotation right off the bat. So we would have been aligned different pitching a hell of a lot for sure.
Yeah.
The Orioles, I don't think the Orioles are the team that they were when we saw them in April. They've taken some pretty big hits in their starting rotation, and from everything that I'm reading, they're looking to bring people in.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Actually, before I give my take, go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, I was going to say something similar to what Ken just said. The there has been a lot of injuries, a lot on everywhere, and it's very hard to. It's feel the Yankees have the same feeling as when they lost Judge last year. They don't feel like the same team when Soto is out of the lineup. They feel like sometimes it feels like watching a deflated team. They don't have the same energy, the same feel, and the opposing pitcher doesn't fear the lineup without Soto. If you have Soto in the lineup, it puts more fear in or mental the for it's more likely for the opposing pitcher to make a mistake with when he sees Soto in the batter's box or in the dugout with a bat. That's how I think.
Yep. Hobby?
I agree. That's all I have to say on that.
All right, got you. All right, bud.
I mean, you look at the impact of Soto. Soto sees a lot of pitches. Also, a lot of pitchers aren't willing to throw at him, and that's why that guy has so many ridiculous number of walks. And you got Judge coming up. He's got at least one runner on base. It's the table's set. They can't pitch around him. Also,
yeah.
That's what it seems like is they're just pitching around Judge, trying to at least.
Yeah, I mean that's what's happening, right? Because Judge is the only. I don't want to say he's the only guy that's hitting because Volpe is hitting, right? Anthony Volpe is hitting. Judge has been hitting. He's been on fire as of late. Verdugo, he's trying to do what he can. Giancarlo Stanton, he's been kind of crapping the bed a little bit. Obviously Rizzo has been bad. I mean, clearly he's not playing tonight or tomorrow, and it could be due to fatigue, like Ken said. He hasn't really had a day off. I think he's only had one game off, and that was when DJ took over for him at first base. Since DJ came back,
it was Cabrera took over for him.
Oh, it was Cabrera. Okay, I thought it was DJ that took over at first, but okay. DJ. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of fans are crapping on him, but I'm not gonna crap on him yet. He literally just came back. So I want to give him a fair shot, kind of like we did with Judge. Well, some people didn't give a fair shot to Judge, let's be honest. But when he was in a big slump, and now he's absolutely just destroying the ball. But I do want to give Rizzo a shot, though. Or not Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu a shot. I do want to give him a shot, and I think he'll be fine. And I see a comment here. Looks like a Dodgers fan. He's saying, "Hello, New York." Not to stir anything up. You guys need to relax. Yankees have a good team. I think they got caught off guard. I would have been happy with us just taking one. I appreciate your comment there, man. Hey, I'm not. I'm relaxed. I know these guys look relaxed. I know, especially Ken. I know he's relaxed. We're all good here, bro. We're all good here, man.
Yo, facts, man.
I guess I'm not the only one in this chat has been to Dodger Stadium. Maybe has Zeta been to? I wonder if Zeta had been to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Robertson. Yeah, and welcome to the chat there, man. Thank you for tuning in, Zeta. Roberts and the Dodgers that knew this series was very important and did stress over the last couple of road series games. Yeah, I mean, he brings up a good point. They bring up a good point here. I mean, they struggled against the Pirates. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. Oh, you have a Yankee cap? Interesting.
Interesting.
Huh.
So a closet Yankee fan.
All good, man. All good. Nah, I think the Yankees. Yeah, I think the Yankees have a good team as well. I mean, I just think that Soto getting hurt kind of came at a bad time. With that inflammation in his forearm, and obviously there's no Clark Schmidt. Although Cody Poteet, I felt like is filling in that role fine so far. I just think the Yankees are, as of right now, they're kind of running into a little bit of bad luck. I'm not going to panic just yet. I mean, it's still June, but let's hope it doesn't carry over into the following months. But do you guys think, let's just say, just to throw this question out there, if Juan Soto was, let's just say he was out for 2 weeks, does this team all of a sudden collapse out of nowhere, or do you think they win games? Do you think they'll pull through and come together?
No, I personally, I don't. If he's out for 2 weeks, I don't think he will. They will collapse. But I think they should immediately call up Dominguez to replace Soto. That's who I think should replace Soto if he is out for a long period of time.
Yeah, Ken is shaking his head no for sure. So
Well, that's my opinion. I remember what Dominguez did when he first came up. I think he can do it again. And we've been all of the Yankees have been very high on Dominguez. Give him the opportunity when it comes. This could be an opportunity.
Yeah, I want to hear Ken's take on that. Go ahead, Ken.
First of all, I don't think Dominguez is ready to be in the major leagues. There is another outfielder that's down in the minors, Oscar Gonzalez. You could plug and play him right now, and that guy's hitting well down there. And he's a decent defensive player.
And he does have some major league experience too. So more so than Dominguez to be.
But there is one problem.
I mean honestly, I would have brought Oscar Gonzalez up a while ago because I still, for the life of me, can't figure out what the hell Jumai Jones is doing on the team.
Yeah. And like I said, the problem with Gonzalez right now is he is not on the 40-man roster.
I'm just
Easy
reading.
Problem. Jumai Jones, goodbye.
Yeah. Time to get rid of Jumai Jones, huh?
Well, I guess the question is, how come the Yankees won't get rid of Jumai Jones? Because they could use him as a pinch runner. He's got some speed on him. I mean,
like how they used Waldo as a pitcher last night in that embarrassing loss. But let's forget about that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
It's
last night's game was a disaster.
It's a new day. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Zeta brings up a good. I mean, Zeta's right, man. So he's saying you guys have a good team. We don't have Muncy, so the Yankees just can't rely on Soto. He's like, and he personally likes Soto. I mean, and that's the thing, I know Soto was he is a difference maker. He brought a lot of energy. He brought a lot to this team. It's one of those things where I feel like if one guy is missing, other guys need to be stepping up. And I know we already said who's stepping up and other guys that absolutely have to step up and aren't stepping up. And Frank is agreeing with you here, Ken. He's saying he agrees with you about Oscar Gonzalez being brought up instead of Dominguez.
I mean, if you look at Dominguez, he just completed his first 9-inning game.
Correct.
All of a sudden, you're going to throw him into the grinder?
Well, last year they brought him up with having 5 games in AAA?
And by 8 games in the majors, he's got Tommy John surgery and is out for a year.
Well, that I don't know how the Tommy John surgery impacted whether he played 8 games or the minors or 20 games in the minors. How if he was brought up maybe a month later, do you think he still would have had the Tommy John surgery, or would he had the Tommy John surgery in the minors?
I don't think he's pressing as hard as when he's sitting in Yankee Stadium on a major league roster.
But he's not throwing like a pitcher. He just got hurt.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and Joan, I agree with you here. Birdie getting injured, it did save Jumai Jones, because once DJ came back, and if Birdie was not hurt, Jumai Jones was probably going to get DFA'd. That's what was probably going to happen. So, unfortunately, Birdie got hurt, and therefore he you still have Jahmai Jones on this roster. So, and yeah, if Jones is there for speed, yeah, they're not utilizing it. You're not wrong there, Frank.
Looking at Friday night's game, in the 10th inning, they brought in Jahmai Jones to pinch run.
Correct.
Grisham was attempting to bat. The third baseman is crashing down for the alleged bunt attempt. Second baseman is not covering. For his speed, why didn't he take off and just take the bag? They were giving him third base, and he didn't take it. So then all of a sudden you're at third base when Grisham turns out you've got a runner at third base with one out. All of a sudden it's just a fly ball to get your game tying run in.
You're not wrong on that. I would have liked that. I would have liked to seen that, but unless if the coaches were telling him don't steal third, and they were telling Grisham, hey, lay down this bunt, which he failed to do so. That could have been.
I can't stand the third base coach for the Yankees anyhow. I think he's freaking sorry.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I mean that guy's been. Yeah, he doesn't make some of the decisions he makes. I'm just like, whoa, man, what are you doing?
What you're saying is another thing that I think the Yankees have misused during this whole season is their speed on the bases. Whenever they have speed on the bases, they don't attempt to steal. I don't even remember Volpe ever really attempting to steal very much. I don't know why they're not attempting Volpe to steal if he gets a leadoff hit, and he not just take second base, have Soto bat have Judge and Soto bat with a guy on second instead of first.
If you recall, when Volpe was hitting down in the 6-7 hole, that's when he was stealing bases.
Yes. But he stopped when he was in the leadoff.
Exactly. As soon as they moved him up to the leadoff guy, then it's like doesn't want to disturb the bats of Soto or Judge. Doesn't want to take the base, and that's an underutilization. I can agree with you completely.
I disagree with the option to steal. Make the pitcher more uncomfortable when he's pitching to our best hitters. He can make a mistake and. The Judge or Soto can hit a two-run bases, hit one in the outfield, and Volpe will score on a base hit. I mean, it's Ricky Henderson used to do that all the time.
Yeah, but Volpe ain't Ricky Henderson.
No.
He's not Ricky Henderson, but he's still fast, and he can at least get the pitchers off the mind of throwing the hitter. He doesn't use the psychological part of the game.
Do you remember in Friday night's game, Volpe is at first base. He takes off. Verdugo slaps a ball into center field. Volpe dives head first into second base. Betts did an excellent job. He deked the hell out of Volpe. Betts pretended like the ball was coming to him, and he went down for the slide. He couldn't get up and make it to third.
Well, maybe he just needs to learn how to run better.
It's not learning. It's experienced ball play.
Well,
and he's a young player. He's still getting the feel for the majors.
But he can get that experience by stealing more.
Again, I think the whole thing with him not stealing bases, I think that's coming out of the coaches. They're probably telling him not to. So I think he would like to. I think he should.
I personally just disagree.
You could disagree, and that's fine. But
you should always utilize your speed.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying that a lot of those decisions could be coming from the coaches. It could be coming from the manager. I mean, I want him to steal. I want him to steal more as well. I would love for him to steal more, but it's not happening. So maybe
that's why I think it's important to have a player like John Birdie, because he does steal.
Yes, he does.
And actually, Oswaldo Cabrera is not slow either. He's got some wheels on him.
Mm-hmm.
So there is definitely a speed component for the Yankees that's not being utilized.
Yeah. Zeta, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you tuning in. He's like, I've been watching your streams for the last couple of days. Dodger fans react in the exact same way. I watched your stream yesterday until the Grand Slam. Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. So hopefully you continue tuning in to some future streams. I do a bunch of them. So hopefully I see you on there.
Also, I just slapped a like on the YouTube live stream.
Oh, appreciate it there, bud. Yeah, good chatting with you too, man. Love to see you again. Maybe on an open panel one day, but take care, man. But yeah, no, look, I would love for Volpe to steal more bases. I'm not picking on him. I know Jones said let's not pick on Volpe of all people. I'm not picking on him. I think he's doing fine even without him stealing bases. So you know, I thought maybe going into this season he would steal a lot more, that the Yankees would have him steal a lot more, but it's not happening. So, you know, initially I thought, okay, they weren't having him steal because they're having Juan Soto hit right behind him, and maybe they're trying to create more of a hit and run situation instead of him stealing more. But again, go ahead.
If you look at the Diamondback model from last year, the Diamondbacks were a little over 500 when they started making their run for the postseason. And the teams that they beat in the postseason, they didn't outslug them. They outran them. They put the fear of other teams by stressing the pitchers, stressing the infielders, and playing small ball.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
small ball is another.
This team has that capability.
Don't utilize enough of.
Yeah, that like Ken said, they have the capability, and yeah, they're not utilizing it. And that Diamondbacks team from last season, they reminded me of the 2003 Florida Marlins. That's who they reminded me of. And the Yankees need to operate like that a little bit more. It would be nice to see that.
Well, over the last 10, 15 years, Yankee fans expect the long ball. They expect to win by hitting that big home run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you face that top tier pitching, that doesn't happen very often. So you have to be able to manufacture runs.
Well, honestly, in this day and age, I think long balls are not necessary to win the game. I think the small ball is a better way. I understand the excitement of a home run, but you don't need more. You don't need more than 3 or 4 hitters in your lineup to come through with the home run. You don't need 9 home run hitters. You need maybe 3 or 4 maximum. The rest of the guys you need to get on base and have high batting averages. If you look at the '98 team, for example, the '98 team had no one hitting 30 home runs, and 6 of their players had a batting average of 290 or better in their starting lineup. The home runs are not necessary to win a World Series.
The thing that I was trying to make a point at is you look at the dynasty year, the last set of dynasties for the Yankees. It wasn't based on power. It was based on the ability. They had 3 or 4 guys that could hit the ball out of the park, and it wasn't at will. But they had a lot of players that were table setters.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need to do again. We need to keep we have basically 3 guys who are big power guys right now. That is Judge, Soto, and Stanton. Everybody around those 3 players should be trying to get on base in other ways to set up a possible home run by those three guys?
Well, you have those three that are home run hitters. You have Volpe, Verdugo, and Torres that are hard contact people that tend to run up doubles/triples.
Yeah.
And then the rest of your lineup is guys that get on the best they can, singles and whatnot. LeMahieu, Trevino, or Wells. By the way, every time Wells came up to bat yesterday, I was rooting for him.
Yeah,
they were bitterly disappointed most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Look, I already feel the way I feel about Wells. I mean, he's got he hits the ball. It's just he just runs into bad luck. I mean, he got on base a couple times yesterday, so to his credit.
Fielder's choice.
Yeah, I'll take it. It wasn't a double play, at least. So
yeah, it wasn't a double play, so it was a fielder's choice.
Yeah, I'll take that. DJ went 2 for 3 yesterday. Which was good. But there's been a lot of talk. Some folks in the chat here, they're talking amongst each other, talking about the trade deadline, or who would you trade, or who would the Yanks look at for a third baseman in a trade?
A third baseman.
Yeah, well, Jason on 161 River has been advocating for McMahon out of the Rockies, but I don't suspect that they're going to make him available.
No, I think they already said he's not available.
Yeah, the Rockies did say that, and honestly, he's one of their very few good players, and they extended their young shortstop. He's like this. I think he's like 21. His name is Ezekiel Tovar. So maybe, I don't know what the Rockies ownership is going to do, because they don't like to spend money on their team. They don't like to invest in their team. There's only been like 2 really good years that they had, and that was in 07 and 18. Right. 07 they had a good team. 2018 they had a pretty decent team as well. But I think with the Rockies, though, if they're trying to build a team around these 2 guys, and not to mention McMahon is on a pretty team friendly contract too with the Rockies.
Yeah, he's locked up for 5.
Yeah. So he's getting paid, I believe, like $11 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a very team friendly contract.
I don't see any trade between the Yankees and the Rockies currently.
I mean, I don't see Ryan McMahon. I know we talked about this on a few days ago on one of the live streams. I mean, there's some fans like advocating for Nolan Arenado and Alex Bregman. I'm like, people, come on.
Lee, all right, come on.
The Yankees are not going to add $30 million to their payroll.
Yeah, no. Why would they add? Why would they add Arenado and that pay and that contract, like $32 million? Like, I would have said yes to Arenado 6 years ago. I would have been all over that. And Bregman, look, I'm not. Listen, the guy is going to turn. Bregman's going to turn what, 31 by the time the season starts. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, which I know the Yankees are not interested in him. Why would they want to get Bregman? A lot of fans already complain about the team being old. So why are they going to go after a guy that's going to turn, 31 at the start of next season? It doesn't really register with me. And Bregman is not really having a great year this year. Let's be honest. I mean, he's hitting the same way some of our guys are hitting right now, as far as batting average goes.
Yeah, he's hitting worse than Torres.
Right. So why do we want? So why are Yankees fans advocating? Some Yankees fans advocating for this guy? I don't understand. And another name that people bring up is Luis Rengifo from the Los Angeles Angels.
I don't really think we trade. If we make a trade, we're going to trade for a defense first in player. We're not going to trade for any big names. We're going to trade for someone who can play solid third base probably, and a lefty reliever. I don't think this team needs very much. They definitely need a lefty reliever and possible a defense first third baseman. Beyond that, they don't really need that much.
Yeah, lefty reliever, absolutely. I think they'll go after a lefty reliever. I see them. I mean, I could very well be wrong on this. I could see them maybe calling somebody up from the minors as far as infield help goes.
Yeah, that too.
But I could also very well be wrong. And no, that name is not Ben Rice. Don't worry about it.
I mean,
more along the lines.
The one player we haven't thought about is what is Cabrera doing? Oswald Cabrera. How is he doing? I haven't looked up it.
Oswaldo Cabrera. I mean, I could tell you he's playing tonight. He's playing third base tonight. And as far as his stats go, well, let's take a look, shall we? While y'all are doing that, while I'm doing that, folks in the chat, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. If you're watching from X and if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button.
I made a mistake. The guy I'm thinking about is Peraza, Oswaldo Peraza.
Oh, I mean, last I heard he was doing well as far as Oswald Peraza goes, but
yeah. I'm always getting them two mixed up because their names are similar.
Peraza's hitting 236 with 3 home runs. Not doing great. Not doing bad.
He's not ready to come back yet.
Well, I don't think the Yankees are going to bring him up at all. I mean, I predict that the Yankees are probably going to trade him. Yeah, that's what I think. And what's up, Jacob Petruzzi? What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Well, if they can trade him for a third baseman or a lefty, that could be a good deal, depending on who they trade and what else they have to put in that trade.
Yeah, and Luis Rengifo, he's a second baseman. He plays second base. He's a switch hitter. He's 27. So looks like he's batting, as of right now, he's batting .318, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's got 16 stolen bases.
He could be a profile guy.
Huh?
He could be a good profile guy.
He could be a good profile guy. I don't know if maybe you put him over there at second.
What's his years of us being able to keep him? And what kind of a package are you willing to offer for him?
Yeah.
Because the Angels are horrible.
Yeah. Well, the Angels are a terrible organization. So, he would be a free agent in 2026. He's under arbitration right now for this season and next season.
2 years of control.
Yep. He might be, and he's 27. He could be worth looking at, but the question is, what does a trade package like that look like? Because the Angels are they're not playoff bound, so I mean they could be sellers.
I mean, another problem is every team, whenever they deal with the Yankees, they always want to suck the Yankees dry for every prospect they're worth. They want more than the player is worth.
Mm-hmm.
What Jason said is the Yankees' premium tax in terms of a trade. Everyone wants more than the player is worth.
Yeah, the Yankees' tax is real. I mean, whenever teams deal with the Yankees, they want like their top. They want like the top names, and Brian Cashman puts his foot down and says no, which I can't say I blame him. And and
if I were the Yankees, one thing I would be thinking about right now is coming in the next Rule 5 draft, who are the players we want and who are the players who are expendable? And if we can make those Rule 5 guys expendable in trades, then I might look for a trade to go with, because we cannot keep all the guys in the minor league system. We're going to lose some in the Rule 5 draft. So if we can trade some of them before the Rule 5 draft, I would be open to that.
But historically, the players that we lose in the Rule 5 draft are almost always pitchers.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. You're right.
And I mean, you've got some pitchers that you're wanting to keep close to the organization. Will Warren, Clayton Beater,
Chase Hampton.
Jack Neely.
There's another kid whose name starts with last name starts with an S. I can't remember him off. Yeah,
Brock Salvage.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that the team's going to want to put on the 40-man roster and keep close.
Yeah, he's another highly touted name that people are talking about, Brock Salvage. So
I'm curious if Brock Salvage will come up after the trade deadline if he's not traded this year. I heard he could be a candidate to be called up sometime this year.
Out in the pen?
I don't know. I heard that Salvage could be called up this year at some point.
Who said it?
Maybe it was Jason, but I don't remember. It could possibly have been a fake account on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see I don't see Salvage being called up. Maybe next season or the year after. I mean, would be my guess. If I had to guess, I don't know. And Brad's saying that he just reposted a list of Rule 5 eligible.
Where?
On Twitter. Let me see I'll see if I could pull that up. But what are you? Yeah, and Salvage isn't ready. I've spoken to Dane about Salvage. Okay, he spoke to Dane Huber. Yeah, I didn't think he was ready. I don't know where you heard that information from, Jonathan, but I did not think he was ready to be brought up. But so whoever said that. So okay. I'll pull this up right now. Brad reposted it. I'm on his Twitter page. He said yearly installment of Rule 5 eligible prospects. The Yankees dealt Wazensky, Waldachuk, and Corella notably at the last two deadlines. The Yankees lost 3 in the MLB 5 draft last year. Sauer was returned 2 weeks ago. So I'll pull up the names right now, right? So give me just a moment here. And yeah,
I knew we had a pitcher returned.
Yeah, and that was that Sauer or Sawyer. I think it's pronounced Sawyer. Beater or Gomez before him. Yeah, I agree. Clayton Beater or Yoandry Gomez. I see one of those two being brought up. Absolutely. Yeah. I really want to see Clayton Beater, but he's definitely more of a bullpen guy for sure.
And this guy, Zach Messenger, he pitched today. He was pretty good. He's another Rule 5 draft.
Oh, let me zoom in here so you guys can see the names.
I see it. I found it.
I see it too. We got Ben Rice, TJ Rumfield, Caleb Durbin, Brandon Lockridge, Elijah Dunham, Will Warren, Alex Marazio, Edgar Barclay, Benjamin Cowles, Grant Richardson, Zach Messenger, Danny Watson, Bailey Dees, Jack Neely, Antonio Gomez, Omar Martinez, and Tyler Hartman. I could see some of these guys being called up to the Yankees before Ben Rice and Rumfield, respectively. That's just my POV.
I think some of them will get traded at the deadline.
Yep. Could be. I mean, they have a lot of names. The Yankees have a boatload of infielders and they have a lot of catchers. So, I don't see they're not going to be able to keep them all.
No,
so
they have to trade some of them, or they're going to lose them in the Rule 5 draft.
Right. So the Yankees will probably try and do something. They're going to do something here. I don't know what exactly. I mean, we'll find out soon enough. And shout out to Brad for retweeting that. I gotta talk to Dane Huber and see if he one day when he has time and we can discuss prospects and who might get traded.
About the Rule 5 draft.
I'm sorry?
Talk to him about the Rule 5 draft coming up.
I'll definitely talk to him about the Rule 5 draft. I'm going to take this off the screen here. And
you look at those names on the list, you're
yeah.
only going to be able to protect 14 of them.
Yeah. Right.
Well, that was a lot more than 14 names.
Yeah, I was a lot. Well, I was, let's see. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it was like 17 names on there. But
Nice.
but I agree with Brad here. There's this guy, Jack Neely. That guy needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Watson for sure. Warren, I would say just because these three guys did definitely need to be protected, but especially Neely. Neely's been looking great down there in the minors.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Neely is in some trade talks, even though I don't want to trade him.
Yeah. And then Rumfield, Durbin, and Ben Rice, Brad is saying. You know, to be honest with you, Brad, I like Ben Rice, but I could see him being utilized as a trade piece because
I think Rice is definitely going to be a trade piece because they have too many catchers. They need to do something about they have so many catchers. They're going to lose them in the Rule 5 draft. And honestly, I'd rather lose these guys in a trade than the Rule 5 draft because the trade, at least you can get something back. In Rule 5 draft, all you get is, I think you get $50,000 per player you lose.
Yeah, and then Brad is also saying Neely should be brought up immediately. Yeah, I would love to see Neely up here. I think he would do well. Rice, he could, like I said, he could be traded. I mean, because they have like guys like Agustin Ramirez. We know that Everson Pereira is probably going to get traded too. He's totally blocked.
Yeah, I agree, Anthony. I could totally see some of these guys getting traded, and I could see some of these guys getting called up to the Yankees sometime soon. And I also, and like I said earlier, I could see some of these guys getting traded, like Ben Rice, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Merck's so saucy. What's up? Yeah, you know, it's funny. We had this discussion, and I know you said it, Ken. Merck, he's asking a question. Hey, fellas, what is your take on Grisham batting fifth today? So, go ahead, Ken.
He takes a lot of pitches, possibly to get the pitch count up on Glasnow. The Yankees were doing a good job of raising the pitch count on Yamamoto on Friday. Through the first two innings, the guy had 42 pitches, and all of a sudden we started swinging and making outs on the first and second pitches. So it could be to force the Dodgers to get this guy, their starter, out of the lineup quicker and face their bullpen.
No doubt.
Plus, he has a little bit of speed to him, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got some speed. He's got some speed, and he appreciates what you said, answering him. But Ramirez at first next year, used as a third catcher. That's what Joan is saying. Agustin Ramirez being brought up next year and being played at first or used as a third catcher. Maybe. I mean,
is Ramirez at the AA level right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
Yes, he is. He played in the game today.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Brad, I don't envy Brian Cashman at all at the deadline or this offseason because he's going to have a very difficult job right now. I mean, it's a good problem that they have, especially with all these players that they have at the minor league system. And
I mean, you figure these guys that we're talking about, maybe 30% of them will be real contributors in the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a crapshoot on which ones are the ones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say who's going to work out, who isn't. I mean, you go off of, what the scouts are saying, what the guys at player development, like what all these guys are saying, and they're saying, hey, we should probably keep these guys, and then we could do away with these guys. Doesn't always work out.
you look at the Minnesota Yankees trade Jake Cave for Luis Hill. Who would have ever thought that this kid would have come into the major leagues and been like what he has been? I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
Nope. I didn't. I did not. I mean, Yankees make these types of moves, and we truly don't know if they're going to work out. A lot of us fans were usually very like, who is this guy? Like, he's not a superstar name. He's not a big name.
You remember the trade for.
Hold on. Look at what Luis Hill is doing, right? Look at what Clay Holmes is doing. And these are names that the Yankees brought in, and we were just like, who are these guys? And they're like some of our best players on the team. So.
Oh, and speaking of Hill, he has a 1.2 ERA, which is amazing.
Yeah, 1.82. That's right. What were you going to say, Jonathan?
You remember the trade of all the Chapman? None of those guys that the Reds got made the major leagues.
Yeah, a lot of these guys don't. Yeah, they don't work out. Some of them do, some of them don't. So,
if you look when we traded Miller to the Indians at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Our big comeback player from them was Clint Frazier.
Yeah, and he got hurt.
Clint Frazier was a complete bust for us.
Huge
when we traded Chapman to the Cubs, our big comeback player was Gleyber Torres, and he has done well for the most part until this year when he shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to say when you're making trading for prospects. You never know what you're going to get.
Well, that's another thing, that the Yankees had opportunity to trade Torres last year. Maybe it was last year or 2 years ago. They had that trade with the Marlins, and the Marlins wanted the Peraza, I think.
Yeah, they wanted Peraza, and the Yankees said no way.
So, looking back now, would you have made that deal?
Looking back now, no, I wouldn't have made that deal based on what the Yankees were, what the Yankees were saying about Peraza being the future of this team, which he had a future with this team.
Peraza came up last year, I think August the 22nd, and he played the remainder of the season, and he just never got the knack for hitting major. He was killing it in the minor leagues, but he never hit major league pitching. And there's no indication, even from spring training, that trend was going to change.
Yeah. And Sean Browning, he's talking, I believe he's talking about Peraza and Gleyber Torres for Pablo Lopez from the Marlins when Pablo Lopez was pitching for the Marlins, but then he got traded to the Twins.
Twins, yeah.
So that's the trade he was talking about. Now, I wouldn't have done that trade because Peraza had a future with the Yankees. Right now, that may have changed. I don't know what the Yankees are planning on doing with him.
I also think the Yankees wanted an additional player in addition to Lopez.
I don't think so. I know last year the Yankees were in talks with the Marlins again and potentially trading Gleyber Torres, but I think Cashman asked for too much from the Marlins, and the Marlins were like, "Yeah, no, we're good." And Ken, I don't know if you remember that, but I know they were going to give him like 2 pitchers for Gleyber Torres, but I think the reports were saying that he was asking for like 4.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and the 2 pitchers that the Marlins were giving up, it wasn't worth a Gleyber Torres at that time. Because Gleyber Torres was playing well last season. So the two pitchers that they were offering was not. It wasn't equaling out. It wasn't going to work out. So, but then Cashman asked for 2 more pitchers. He asked for a total of 4 pitchers, which the Marlins said no. Which I don't blame them. 4 pitchers, but the 2 that were being offered, though, I don't think was worth Gleyber Torres. And that was their second best hitter last season. And Frank is saying Peraza is a good example of keeping Dominguez down. A couple of years ago in the postseason, he did well. Nothing since. Yep. And Merxo Saucy saying I would have done it. Pablo Lopez would have been nice with Blake. Yeah, it would have been nice, but that would have been a fair trade, though. Gleyber Torres for Pablo Lopez, that would have been a fair trade, but they went and asked for Peraza too, which then the trade was dead. That deal was dead right after that. That deal was almost done. But and Sean Browning is saying, let's say we did trade for Lopez, he could have stuck with us. He could have, maybe, but to Merxo Saucy's point, Matt Blake could have turned him into a beast, and he could have. It could have gone either way. That's the thing with these trades. You just don't you make these trades, but nothing is guaranteed until these guys go out there and perform.
I also remember another trade that the Yankees had many, many years ago. They were in talks to trade with Jose Fernandez just before he got killed. They were almost in agreement to make. They were almost in the cusp of pulling off that trade before he died.
No balls. Come here, baby.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do. Yeah, I do. I do remember that. Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened, but
I think they were gonna get. I think they were gonna get both Stanton and Fernandez in that deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I want to get into, because we're about maybe a half hour away from game time, so I do want to get into the score predictions. I want to get everybody's score predictions, and folks in the chat, tell me your score predictions. I'll get the over/under here real quick for today's game. So they're saying the over/under for today's game is 8.5. So what are your guys' score predictions? Everybody in the chat, go ahead and give your score predictions. Let's talk about it. What do you guys got?
I'm guessing the Yankees win 4-2.
You're guessing Yankees win 4-2. Okay, Hobby.
I'm guessing 3-2 Yankees.
3-2. That's what. Okay, go ahead, Ken.
5-4.
5-4. Yeah, I'm gonna go 5-3. And Joan is saying 3-2. So it has the same score as Hobby. What is everybody else's score predictions? Okay, I see another one here. Sean is saying 6-2.
Sean's saying 6-2, so he's a little under.
Uh-huh. I don't see 2 runs being scored. And CT Cards is saying 3-2.
CT Card saying 3-2, same thing as me and Joan, I think. Yeah. So
I think I'm the only over.
You are the only over.
Oh,
Not a bad
okay.
thing. Not a bad thing. It's all right, Ken. Yeah. So 5-4. It could happen. Yeah, CT Cards thinks it'll be a low scoring game. Yeah, it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I mean, it is, after all, it is Luis Hill versus Tyler Glasnow. So,
both of these pitchers are amazing, but Luis Hill, I think he's going to outdo Tyler Glasnow. What do you think?
Yeah, but the one thing about Glasnow, I think the Rays really lost that deal, in my opinion, when they traded him. They traded him, and they didn't get very much for him.
Yeah, they didn't get back a whole lot, but it is what it is.
The Rays were trading him based off of his injury history.
Right.
Marcus saying going 4-2. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Merck's so saucy's going 4-2, so he's definitely on the under. Yeah, so far Ken is the only one that's on the over, so he's got the 5-4 score. I got 5-3. Few folks said 3-2. Sean Browning said 6-2. How well do you all think Luis Hill's going to do? How many innings? How many strikeouts? How many walks?
I'm
Go
guessing
ahead, Jonathan.
six and a third, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks.
I got you. So I'm going at least 7 or 8 innings. 1 walk, 1 run, and 9 strikeouts. Luis Hill's gonna have himself a night.
All right. What about you, Ken?
I don't think he pitches any more than 6 innings because I think they're trying to limit his innings count.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're going to win a series taking this game tonight. So I think he pitches 6, 8 possible strikeouts, 2 to 3 walks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also have him going 6 innings as well. I got him 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. I think he'll give up 2 runs, is what I think.
Similar to what I said.
Yeah. So
Also, I want to get everybody's keys to the game, and who do you think's gonna hit a home run? For me, I got Judge, Verdugo, and maybe Volpe going yard. Also, my keys to the game: offense really needs to heat up, and Luis Hill's gonna have a great night, outdoing Tyler Glass now, and Sean Brown saying 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, no hits, and 2 runs. Okay, I got you. What about you? Oh, NFE, what's your keys to the game, and who do you think's gonna hit a home run?
we'll get to that here in a minute, bud. So
Okay.
yeah, you're good. Luis, okay, CT Cards has Luis Hill, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs. All right. How many strikeouts, CT Cards? You're missing that one. Let me know how many
No, he's
strikeouts.
not. He's
Huh?
got 0. He's got 0 strikeouts.
0 strikeouts. Oh my God. That's
Oh
bad.
my gosh. Imagine if that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Nosebleed 10 strikeouts. Okay, I got you. And that's what nosebleed section's saying too. 6
No
innings pitched,
run,
0
2
wins.
walks, 10 strikeouts.
Okay.
That's going to be a hell of a night if he does that.
Oh, so look, Javi, he's answering you here. He's saying Judge, Verdugo, and Stanton are going to hit a home run.
Oh, okay. I got you,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, I got Judge hitting another dinger tonight. He should hit a dinger tonight. He's been hitting dingers all for a while now, so I got him. Stanton, personally, I don't know. I got Judge, and I'm gonna go Volpe.
One thing I would love to see from Stanton is he just be a little bit more patient at the plate. He needs to just let the ball come to him, not be so compulsive.
And Albert's saying, I predict a 3-1 Yankees win if Glaber doesn't make another defensive error or a base running blunder. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, what's up, Albert? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Hopefully you're doing good. Yeah, 3-1. So he's thinking a low scoring game. Again, I understand why, because it's a pitcher's duel. And then you got Judge hitting a home run. I got Judge hitting a home run tonight. Nosebleed section saying no home run. Merck So Saucy's saying Judge, Verdugo, and Volpe. You know what? I like Verdugo. That would be my 3 right there. I said Judge and Volpe. I'm gonna add Verdugo to my list. So that's who I got. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But and then I know he missed. Yeah, Stanton, he missed 2 home runs the last 2 games. I know, man. He was so close. So close. Maybe tonight's the night.
As long as we don't get hit under the bat when and the Yankees go deep, because we saw that last night. So we saw plenty of it last night. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. What are you all munching on tonight? What's for dinner?
I haven't thought about that.
Me neither.
What about you, Ken? What are you eating on? What are you gonna munch on tonight, man?
We've got crispy chicken tenders with sliders.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Sounds like a
And
backyard barbecue.
And if I can con my son into it, fried pickles.
Fried pickles? Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I like some fried pickles. CT Cards is saying I'm so broke it's ramen noodles. That's funny. Sean Browning is saying soup. I'm a poor man. Oh my goodness. And then Merc So Saucy saying spaghetti and chopped meat. Okay. All right. What else is everybody eating on? Jonathan didn't think about. Jonathan doesn't know. Javi doesn't know. I have no idea. I'll figure something out. Ken is eating some good food for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. Being retired, I do a lot of cooking, and for me to whip a meal together is easy. I don't really like eating out that much, and I hate paying for stuff that I can cook better than they can.
Did you cook when you were in the military too?
Man, let me tell you what.
Yeah.
As a job, I was an electronics technician and a tactical watch stander. But when I was in special boat units, I would make food because I couldn't stand those goddamn MREs. They were horrible.
So I heard.
My wife wasn't the greatest cook back in the day. And my kids would, when the ship was going out for a week or so, they would ask me to make meals for the week. They would freeze them and then bring them out. So that's what I would do for them. But when I went on 6-month or longer cruises, they were shit out of luck.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh man. But what else we got here? I see some other food choices here, or food menus here. So nosebleed section saying burgers and oven baked parm potatoes and Caesar salad. That sounds good. Izzy saying dinner, more Olympic weight plates for me. Got to stay ready for these Dodger fans in SoCal. I heard that. Joan is saying she already had her beef short ribs with Brussels sprouts. And that's okay. And then Merc So Saucy saying spicy queso Funyuns. Yeah, and Sean Browning is saying disabled vet working 2 jobs to get by. I hear you, man. Sean, I believe you were in the Army, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think Sean Browning was in the Army there, Ken. I know you were in the Navy.
Thank you
Sean,
for your
I believe, was
service.
in the Army. MRE, nasty as hell. Get out. Nasty as hell, get out. Yeah. Yeah. I've worked with a Marine guy who worked in the Army, who was in the Army. I've talked to folks in the Navy. I mean, yeah, I've never heard anything great about MREs. And yeah, Sean Browning said he did 2 tours to Iraq, so he was in the Army. So
Thank you for your service.
there you go. Yeah, there you go, Sean. Yeah, Ken was in the Navy, so
31 years, 16 major deployments, most of them to the suck, the Middle East.
Oh man, yeah, that's yeah, that's I'm sure it was nice and toasty there too.
The first ground tour I had was during the first Gulf War in Riyadh. So,
Okay, oh, right there in Saudi. Okay, I got you. And yeah, he thanks you for your service there, Ken. And Merc So Saucy thanks you and Sean for your service. So, yep.
so now I'm an old retired guy and I get to do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, well, that's pretty clear, man. I mean, that one open panel I had you on, you said your daughter was calling you, and you're just like, you know what? No, do whatever I want. Like, it's my life. It was so funny.
Retired doesn't mean automatic babysitter.
Oh, that's what that's what they're thinking. Like, hey, can you babysit the grandkids? And
Well, they were like, we want to go out to lunch and we don't want to take the kids. Oh, so what you're saying is you want me to feed the kids, look after the kids, and put them down for naps. You don't want to do the parent work. You want to drop it off on me and go have a good time. And then I would relay the story. Well, when me and your mother were here and we were doing deployments, we didn't have any family to fall back and drop you guys off with. We took care of you. So suck it up, Buttercup. This is adulthood.
Yeah, so don't get on Ken's bad side. That's what I've been learning this whole entire time I've known the man.
You know, like I said, I did 31 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
My oldest kid is 40 years old now. He turned 40 in May. My youngest turns 25 in August. So I've got 4 sons, and I've got a big spread on them.
So 25 is your youngest, and 40 is your oldest?
Yep.
And then, so between the 40, next stage down is probably, are they close in age, or?
The middle two are. One is 31, and the other one is 33.
Okay. I'm older than 3 of your kids except for the oldest.
I'm the same age as the oldest, and I'm older than him by when you said when is his birthday?
It was in May.
Well, then I was born before him in the same year.
So you could call me Dad.
No.
Well, if you're right at the same age as my oldest son, you couldn't call me Grandpa.
I'll call you. I'll call you by your first name.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
accept that.
Yeah, Mertzo Saucy's he's apparently 40 years old as well. Nosebleed section saying that his grandfather was a World War II vet, and he has his flag in the living room. His ability to type saved him from seeing the frontline action. Interesting. Okay.
It's a skill set.
It is a skill set. It is a skill set. Yeah, you were born in 84. I figured, being 40 years old. I was born in 86, so I'll be 38 in October. So I'll be 40 here in a couple of years.
When you're 40, you'll do a whole big live stream with a lot of all the other streamers with the party.
That's why you keep the hair trimmed down, to keep the gray out of vision.
Yeah, you know what, man? I got whoa, CT cards, you're 45. Hold on. That caught my attention right there. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Dude, I didn't think you were 45. I thought you were younger, man. Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the gray hairs, it does, when my hair grows back, and my hair grows back fast, which, I'm not complaining. I look at that as a blessing. There are little gray hairs that do come up, that do pop up. So
my kids are like, "Damn, Dad, you got gray in your hair. You're old." And I will joke back at them that these are lines of wisdom, and I've earned every one of them.
Exactly. Let them know, Ken. Let them know what's up. Don't let them mess with you. Merc So Saucy has a question for you here, Jonathan. I don't know if you want to answer it.
My birthday was in March.
His birthday was in March. Merc So Saucy. Oh wow! So you turned 45 back in January. There's CT cards. I gotcha.
I mean, if you were on Hector's stream, I was on Hector's stream on my birthday.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you know when my birthday is.
Well, I don't remember the exact date, but I remember you being on there. Yeah, he's older than you by a month. He was born in February. Yeah, now we're talking about birthdays and age and gray hairs and.
Well, I'm happy not to be the oldest one in the room.
How old are you, Javi?
I'm currently 17 years old. I just turned 17 in January.
Oh my God, dude, you're young.
You're very young.
I know, right?
You're still a kid. Oh man, he doesn't even know what life is yet.
Well, the question, Javi, do you have a driver's license?
No.
I take that as a
but
no.
I love that. I love that baby shark joke you made of me on Jason's stream last night. I can't stop laughing from that.
Yeah, I know. We got a baby in the chat, man. Oh, Javi's 17. Yeah, you're definitely the baby of the group there, bud.
Yeah.
And Sean Browning was born in 88. So, okay. So you're 36 there, Sean Browning. James was born in 1955. He says you're all a bunch of kids. Well,
exactly.
Well, I'm happy not to be the oldest one in the chat.
Well, like Ken said, if you're the oldest, you come with some wisdom and experience and years, and Ken clearly has that. So, but Javi is 17, dude. Enjoy it.
Who are the greatest Yankees that you've actually seen in your lifetime?
For me?
Anybody.
Well, I mean,
I saw the 98 team.
I saw the 98 team as well. I remember, for me, Jeter was that guy, right? Number 51 was my favorite Yankee of all time.
I also went to both World Series games in 98.
Yeah. I mean, Merck So Saucy is talking about Darryl Strawberry. I mean, I remember watching him play. Paul O'Neill was another guy,
Paul
right?
O'Neill, I love. They don't come like Paul O'Neill anymore.
No, there's no water coolers being punched. So,
he would be a very interesting manager. I think Paul O'Neill would be a good manager.
Yeah, I think a lot of those guys that some of the older fans saw, some of you guys saw like Reggie Jackson, and you have some of your older fans that saw like Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra, Luke Barrett, Joe DiMaggio. So I mean those guys were something else. I wish I got to see those guys play live, but
I've met Reggie Jackson in person. It wasn't a good experience.
Well, I met Reggie Jackson when he was playing for Arizona State University. So he was a college kid, and he wasn't a prima donna jerk. My dad knew him and introduced me, and he seemed pretty down to earth to me.
He's not down to earth anymore, at least in private.
Yeah.
I met him in the Yankees gift shop. There was no one there except me, my mom, him, and two other guys with him, and the employees of the gift shop. I asked for his autograph when he's all alone. He said no, without even me finishing my question. And I was scared to go up to him.
Yeah, so James is saying he's been a Yankees fan since 1966.
Wow, that's a long time, man.
Yeah.
I went to my first Yankee game in Detroit in 1968, and now, if you know anything about Yankee history, that was a beyond shit year for them. Worse than our season last season. But I did get to see the great Mickey Mantle play.
Yeah, but in regard to Mickey Mantle, I wish he retired after 1967.
Yeah, no doubt. So, hey, Javi, so you're out of school now, right? School's done?
No, not yet. But I do want to let you know that I got ESPN on right now.
Nice.
Speaking of which, the game is about to start. It's almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Cool, bud. Yeah. You got it. How many games have you gone to so far?
I've gone to 2 games so far. I went to one in. I went to 2 games in April, and they were against the Marlins and the A's. And the game against the A's, that's where Boone got thrown out for something he didn't do.
Oh, you were at that game. I got you, bud. Yep. Yeah, I know. So, yep, guys. Wow, we're at 2 hours on the stream.
Yeah,
The
2
game's
hours
about to
for
start.
Slocky.
Yeah, the game's gonna start in 10 minutes. I'm gonna slowly wrap it up, but I appreciate you guys jumping on the open panel. Thanks for coming on. As always, appreciate everybody's takes. I mean, it's always a good conversation, and again, we're not gonna always agree on everything, but that's just what makes us fans. If we all agreed on the same thing, it'd probably be pretty boring, right? But
That's the way life is.
yeah, that's the way life is. I mean, there's billions of us, and we're not going to always agree on everything. So it's just the way it goes. But, yeah, I appreciate all you guys coming on and chatting it up. I'm going to go ahead and just drop you guys down. Everybody else in the chat, thanks for coming on and spending your Sunday afternoon with me. It was a lot of fun. And 2 hours. Let's go, Yankees. Let's hope they win. Thank you to everybody, folks in the chat. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Share this out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. Any support you give to this channel is also appreciated. Of course, if any other news comes out, I'll put out a YouTube short. Definitely look out for a pregame tomorrow. We'll set something up. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have an interview tomorrow with a former Major League Baseball player at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see all of you there. Let me get the name for you real quick. So, because I got a couple of names, I just want to make sure I get the right one. Brandon Puffer, folks. I'm going to be interviewing him. So get your questions ready. And I'm expecting another good conversation. So far, these player interviews are a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be talking with Bruce Maxwell on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, I hope to see all of you there. It'll be a lot of fun. And go enjoy the game. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.